Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jordie James show. I'm very excited today. So let's just chat about how this week's been. Now, we've had full moon, we've gone through, and especially in Sag too, so it's been a very interesting week. For me, sitting in my truth. Now, it's really hard for us when we sit in our truth that we don't want to, we worry when we sit in our truth that we might step on someone's toes or we might get someone offended, or that we worry and we get in our heads too much that we've gone, I've stepped over the boundaries here because I've spoken my truth. So when we do speak our truth, you've got to understand it's our truth. If people are repelled from that, so be it. And obviously they're not meant to be in your space, your energy, and things like that. So when you speak your truth, it's interesting because I did speak my truth this week. It was really interesting. I went for a retail job. Well, actually, I went for a reader and ended up being in a retail. And I ended up basically realizing I am not meant to be in retail. I am meant to be, it was only going to be 1 or 2 days a week. It wasn't going to be full-time because this is now my full-time position. This is what I love to do. This is my passion. So speaking my truth to say, look, I don't really need to be in retail anymore. And it was really interesting because it was very sort of cohesive with the fact that the universe actually brought someone else to them anyway for the position, which was really, really good. But to lo and behold, we were all very good sitting down and really knowing that where we stood was sitting in our truth, yet it was totally accepted and we were totally being accepted, and it was just really awesome. So so speaking your truth, and it's always hard when we speak our truth because we just don't know how the other person's going to react. But to be honest, it's not about them. It's really about you and where you sit and being authentic and being the beautiful, bright spark that everyone is. And everyone has their own demons. Everyone has their own things going on. But for us to sit in our truth, it gives us a sense of grounding, a sense of growth, and really understanding. So that's been my lesson this week. I know this is a lesson for a lot of other people as well, but all I can say is sitting in truth. If you have anxiety, please let it go around sitting who you are, because people will love you for who you are and what you do and how you are around family and friends. And it's interesting when you do how many people come closer to you because you're sitting in your authentic truth, and how people just go, oh, I'm not going to get anything more from her now. I'm just going to slip away. And it's hard, especially when you've got really good friends who have sort of gone by the by, but they'll obviously remember friends are for a season sometimes. They don't need to be there for the rest of your life. It's like the same with teachers and mentors. I know with my students, when I teach them and I'm a mentor to them, I say to them, look, I'm not going to be the only mentor. Only if you're drawn to me for a certain period of time, that is perfectly okay. You've obviously got everything you needed from my teachings or from the way Spirit comes through with my teachings. So it's time to move on. It's ready to go. So yeah, so that's been my week this week. And the full moon, love how the full moon brings things out like this. So also I'm a bit of witchy woo as well. So I like to put my crystals out and just sit in the moonlight. Mind you, it is the first day of winter over here, and I know it's the first day of summer over in the States. And it was really cold this morning. We can get minus 2 to 3 where I am at the moment, but we got down to 1, I think, this morning. So it is cold, and that's Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. So Yeah. So now what I will do is I'll take our first caller for today. I have Mandy from Birmingham. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So I'm a psychic medium, so I'll connect mediumshiply and psychically. Now, did you want to go mediumship or psychic or a bit of both within the call, or how would you like to go?
Um, Maybe a bit of both. I'm not.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of lost right now. So
Yeah.
whatever you pull for
Whatever
me.
comes through. All right,
Yes,
awesome.
please.
So I do have a gentleman who's standing with me, but he's not very strong at the moment, but I know he's wearing a fedora hat or he's wearing a hat. So he's not coming through very strong a stage, but I do know that he's here. Now, what I would like to talk to you about, I know you said you were lost, but I want to say there's just a few things because for you, I know because it's summer over there, and I think Birmingham, Alabama, always gets absolutely gorgeous. But you guys have always got humidity, haven't you?
We do really bad.
Yeah, yep, cool. So I know I'm in the right part of the states. That's cool. Uh, but what I want to say to you is things are starting to. It's interesting when we are feeling lost. It's like it's a reset for us. So we just don't know where to go. Now, I'm also getting relationship and work around this feeling a little bit uneasy, or it's not to say that the carpet's been pulled from underneath you. I just want to make reference to the fact that things are changing within the work environment and relationship environment that you just it's like new beginnings, or like we're at a toddler speed with these things. Would that make sense with you?
Yes, ma'am. I just graduated not too long ago. This month actually, and it's
Yep.
at the job. I've just kind of been lost about which direction to go, and that was one of the things I was going to ask you about, like
Yeah.
finances and my
Yeah.
life. What
Well,
do you see coming up?
yeah. Okay, cool. This gentleman is coming through, and he's so gorgeous. I want to say he's not a very tall man. I want to say about 5'6", 5'7". And I don't feel like he was a very big build, but I do want to say I feel that he had joint and arthritis issues or something around. He looks very stiff the way he walks, and I feel like he got into his old. I feel like he got into his 90s. He's a very a diplomatic man. He's got a very soft nature around him, and he just wants to come through to give you. I want to make reference to whether or not it's a grandfather on dad's side, or there's a reference to grandfather on dad's side. But I just want to make reference to he is like saying, "Chin up, girl, you've got this now." I also want to make reference to he passed peacefully, or there's a reference to passing in his sleep. I know he had old age things, but would that make sense with you?
It would. My grandfather on my father's side passed away, and
Yeah,
I couldn't be there.
yeah. Okay, so was he in his like early or sort of mid to late 90s, or there's a reference to being like a good age? He's telling me like the golden age. He's telling me he's got this beautiful sense of the way he pronounces things. He's absolutely gorgeous, and he's such a gentleman, like a real. And I'm not going to say old fashioned, but a real gentleman that is just all for family, all for his wife. I feel like his wife passed before him too. So does that make reference with you as well?
Um, he's actually my father was adopted by him, so I don't really know anything prior to my grandmother being with him. Um,
Okay. All right. So did your grandmother pass before him though?
no, she actually just recently, very
Passed.
devastatingly, passed away.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. And my condolences to you. I just feel like there's a bit of a gap between the two of them, though. Would that make sense to you?
Yes,
Like
it
10,
does.
15 years? Because I feel like he was a bit alone up there, if that makes sense. Because for me, it's like he's still alive, and he's very much, I want to say, the way he's walking, the way he's moving his body, he's got the fluid in movement now. Because I feel like whether or not he's telling me he's got rickets, but I just want to make reference to the stiffness in his bones and things like that, if that makes sense to you.
It does.
Now, he just wants to say chin up, and I feel like he's coming through. Oh, okay, yes. He wants to make reference to, I can't see your grandmother at the moment, but not to say that she's not there, okay? But he definitely greeted her with the utmost respect, and I do want to say he put his hat. He's such a gentleman. It's like he's showing me he put his hat on his heart, on bended knee, waiting for her. So he's just making me aware of this gentlemanness around him. And this is what I want to say too. He actually got down on his bended knee, and I feel like he had issues even with movement. So I do want to say he's got this fluidness around him now. Now he's coming through for you just to say that he caught her, but there's a few other people that have passed before your grandmother as well that he wants to make reference to. And there's another 2 or 3. I feel like there's 2 men and a lady that have also passed between the 2 of them, that he's making me aware that he was there for them as well. But he was definitely wanting to make aware that he's very much around family and he's looking after family. He's making me aware of 8. So is there 8 children somewhere, or there's 8 grandchildren?
There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, between the children he had and the children they had, there's 8 of us total.
Thank you, because he's just making me aware of the 8. Okay, perfect. So it is him, but okay, thank you. He's very much, and you know what? He didn't want for anything, and I feel like this is where the finance is coming in for you, because you got to realize that you've come so far and the abundance around you is quite vivid. And I feel like it's like in a roof over your head, you've got a car, you've got money for food and things like that. I want to make reference to you've got everything that you need right now, even though you are pushing pennies. He wants to say pushing pennies. Now, with reference for me with that is the fact that you're holding on to things and holding on to pennies that you don't really need to, just to make a reference. So finances are going to start coming in quite freely for you. Now, work, baby steps for you. I want to make reference to, I don't know if you've, I feel whether or not, if you have got work, the environment is not the right environment for you. And this is why I feel that you're a little bit apprehensive. You love what you do and what you've studied for. You love this career. Don't get me wrong. You love this career. But I feel like the place of employment or the place where you are going to work, you're a bit apprehensive with. I want to make reference to the fact that you need to give it at least 6 to 12 months at this place of work, because I feel like, are you in work now? Have you just started?
I'm not currently. I have been looking and looking and looking, and I can't find any
there's
work
a reference.
right now.
There's a reference to in the next two weeks to a month. I want to make reference to, because it's very much don't get disheartened with where you are at now, because it's just baby steps. And it's interesting because you've worked so hard to do what you do. You go, oh, is that it? Is that where I'm going to go? And you feel a little bit like deflated. But you've got to understand, you're doing this from the heart. You actually picked this career from your heart space. I don't want to say from head space. It's like heart space. And
it
I
is.
do
My
feel
heart
that,
is into it 100%.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a passion of yours, so don't give it up. It's just the fact that you've put so much work in, and now there's nothing really going on at the moment. But I do want to say there's 2 opportunities coming up for you in the next month. There's a reference to the next month. So, but just be aware of the environment that you go into, because I feel like the environment may push your buttons a little bit.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I do want to say that it's coming through. Sorry, I'm just drinking water while I'm chatting to you.
No,
I'm probably feeling the heat that you guys have, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. Okay,
it is very hot here.
Yeah. So, but this gentleman, just please give your love. And is your dad still here?
He is.
Thank you. Can you please? Oh, Can you please give a big hug to him from his father, because I want to make reference to his father. He wants to take responsibility for being his father. So even if he was adopted, I want to make reference to accepting who he was and being him as in the family. So I want to make reference to that. Now, relationship, just I'll touch on that quickly with you. Are you in a relationship now? Yes?
I am.
Yes. Has this been going for now? I'm always a bit off at the moment. So is it 3 years that you've been with him?
Yeah, it's technically 5, but we split up and we're right at the 3-year mark.
Cool. I was going to say 3 to 5, but I went to 3, so bear with me. I feel like these last 3 years with you, though, it's more of it's really, all I can say is grounding, good. There's an essence of just going, it's not the fact that you can't live without him, but it's a reference to a soul magnet. It's like a magnetism between the two of you.
Yeah.
So this is where I want to say this will grow stronger. And it's interesting because when you accept it from the heart, he gets into his head quite a bit. He's a very, he can be very frustrating sometimes. He's a bit stubborn as well, if that makes sense. And he gets a little bit anxiety because he gets frustrated, and he's a very much of a black and white man. So everything has to be written down. Money, he's a very budget wise, very conscious of money. And this is where it gets frustrating with you, because you are this is abundance. We've got everything we need. We don't need anything more. And he's still trying to get on the bandwagon, or still trying to get on that wagon of going, hang on a second, we know the money's going to be there. I don't think he quite gets that.
Yeah.
Because you know how the universe provides. The universe always provides whatever we need. It will be there. I also want to say in the next 6 months, don't be surprised if you guys go away on a holiday or a trip. And I feel like it's a 2-week holiday. And I do feel that where you're going, I'm just trying to sort of look at the map. And I feel like I know you guys are in the south, but I want to go northeast with you guys. So whether or not you go upstate or northeast, but I just want to make reference to that for you.
Okay.
Okay. But there's just a reference to catching up, and I feel like whether or not it's his family or there's family connections northeast, but I just want to make reference to that. Thank you. But I know that's going to be in 6 months, which would be roughly Thanksgiving, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Maybe Christmas.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Right at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're just in June. Yeah. So it might be in between. But yeah, I don't feel like it's going to be a family holiday get together. I feel like it's more a family meeting and then going away for you guys just to have a bit of a break, because I feel like he works 24/7. He's very much of a hard worker and things. So may I leave that with you, Mandy? Any other questions quickly?
The only other thing is that, do you get anything from my grandmother for me? Anything at all?
The grandmother that just passed, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was she not well? Would that make sense? Sorry. I mean, I know that's a little bit of a common question, but I want to make reference to, okay. So has this just happened in the last 2 to 3 months?
It has.
Okay, thank you. And I do want to say she's not coming through quite strongly, but I do want to make reference to, is she like a solid lady? I don't feel like she was a very skinny lady. Like, so if she lost a little bit of weight before she passed, I want to make reference to she was a very solid but not big, if that makes sense. She was a very solid and strong lady. And I do want to say there's a reference to her telling me 6 to 8 months before she passed, she started going downhill really quickly. Would that make sense?
Yes, it would.
Okay, thank you. And something about hats with you guys, because I can see her in a straw hat with flowers around it. And she's got this gorgeous, like, beautiful, she's telling me bouffant, but there's a beautiful sort of reference to her hair being, like, she's got her hair back. There's a reference to getting her hair back, and it's thick and luscious and curly, and she's got this smile, and She's very gracious for everyone that came. She didn't realize how loved she was until she actually went to her own funeral and saw everyone there.
Wow.
So, and I know you guys have got a big family, but I feel like there's extended family and there's people around the town. That it's like, I want to say, she was very much of a pivotal person in the town.
Yes.
Yeah. So she sort of knew that. Yet, oh, and there's something about I'm getting cakes with her, and it's interesting. They're like the bread and butter puddings. It's like I want to make reference to this gorgeous butter caramel cake. I feel like it's baked, and I feel like it's a dessert, like it's a self-sourcing pudding, but it's just like this butterscotchy caramel. Like I can taste it, and she just wants to make reference to this for you
She
as
used
well.
to make a pineapple upside down cake that was like exactly what you're talking about on the top, and it was my favorite cake.
Oh my God, she's bringing this through, and all I can taste is this sweetness, this butterscotchiness, this caramel, and I'm like, oh, like Homer Simpson. But yeah, so she's baking for everyone up there, and she just that's her validation that she's here. Okay, now I do want to say that she was very spiritual as well. She had this gorgeous faith, and she has a gorgeous voice too. She's singing. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden you might hear her, like her voice or a song or something that she sang that she absolutely loves singing around the family. But I want to make reference to that will be your sign that she's around you.
Okay.
Okay. But she loved the fact that there was still banter around the room before she felt. I feel like there were people around her. She's telling me there was people around her. She was aware of it. And there was banter. So life and fun and laughing. So may I leave that with you, Mandy?
Absolutely, yes. It makes perfect sense. I cannot thank you enough.
No, you're welcome, Mandy. And connect with me on Jordie Jane Psychic Medium on my Facebook page or my website. But Facebook page, I normally get 2 more. So contact me there. Thank you so much, Mandy, for allowing me to do that for you. And chin up, girlfriend. I'll leave that with you. And now I've got Darcy from, is it Cancel in Idaho?
It's Council.
Cancel. Oh, sorry. That's my accent. And it's like, I'd say Mall and Mal. So I say Mal instead of Mall. So there's Cancel and Cancel. So sorry about that, Darcy.
That's fine.
So at least I got your name right. That's a good thing. That's a good start. Now,
yes.
Would you like a little bit of medium or psychic? Where would you like to go?
Sure. Whatever you got. I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So, oh, wow. Okay. So what I want to say to you is I've got no one with me just at the moment, but I do want to say things are turning. Wow. This year, I want to make reference to things have changed for you. Now, there's a lot of different things for you. House-wise, work, and family. I want to bring those 3 things in for you. And I want to say last year was a really tough year. I'm getting very emotional with last year. So I don't know if you lost someone or there's a reference to loss or grief last year, but I do want to make reference to Darcy. I'm going to try and do this as quick as I can because we've got about 3.5 minutes left. But if I do have anything else, please contact me on my Facebook page. But I do want to say last year was a really rough time for you. Would that make sense with you?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It's like I want to say it was, if it was one hit, it was another hit. There was another hit. There was another hit. It was like, I want to say it was a constant trying to climb up a mountain and all you could climb in is mud. It was really bad. Not bad in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a struggle. And I do want to say this year, and I do want to say you've put a lot of effort and manifestation into going, you know what? I'm wiping last year. This year's going to be better. And I do want to say in the first 3 months of this year, you still felt like you were bringing things from last year back into this year. But now I want to say in the last 2 months, things have really started happening for you. And I just want to say, hold on to the bar, girlfriend, because this roller coaster is going. It's beautiful sunshine, roses. There's more fun. There's more time for you and reconnecting with yourself, which I feel that you did have issues with previously. Would that make sense?
Yes, very much.
So moving forward this year, I feel that you've actually put your foot down, and it's interesting. Do you have 3 children?
No, I don't have any children.
Okay. Are you one of 3?
No, there's just me and my sister.
Okay. Because I want to make reference to, do you have 3 sort of children, like 3 nephews or nieces around you? There's something around 3 around you. So if you don't have any children, I just want to make reference to...
My best friend has 3 kids.
Okay.
Maybe her children.
Yeah, because I just want to make reference to they're bringing me to the 3 children. Now, I feel like you're a little bit like a godmother and things like that to them. And it's like I want to say they're yours even though they're not. But I do want to say there's a reference to that around you. So family is a big thing for you. So, okay, thank you. Okay. Would I make reference to your best friend losing a mum or an auntie that was really close? Because I've got a lady that's coming through. Okay. There's a lady that's coming through. Hang on, bear with me for a second. There's a lady coming through. I've got 60 seconds. But I just want to say she's coming through with flowers to give to you and your best friend. There's something about that connection this lady has with you. And I feel like there's an aunt reference. Okay. So, but I do want to say this year, sorry, I've got about 30 seconds to go. Darcy, can you please contact me on my Facebook page, Jordie Jane's Psychic Medium, and I will finish off this reading for you because I don't want to leave you short because I've only got a couple of seconds. So please, Darcy, contact me and I'll keep going with this. I will type with you, which is what I do. I don't like leaving people half done. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening today. You can contact with me on Facebook, Jordie Jane Psychic Medium, or my webpage. Thank you so much. I will see you all next week.